Bruno G, Bruno Guimaraes officially confirmed at Arsenal. I know Arsenal fans, Vinicius, Morgan Rogers, park all of that stuff to the side, people. We have to be gassed about this signing. These are the signings you make if you want to retain the Premier League. Anyone that's been following my YouTube channel knows how passionate I have been about central midfield. And how it's a running joke on this platform that I've been crying and crying and crying almost every year about a central midfielder. Even when Edu was here, I used to famously say, Edu, Gaspar, Mikel Arteta, you man were central midfielders. This should be sorted. We've got it. Our midfield, and again, check out the tactical analysis video I did, people, on Bruno Guimaraes for more in-depth, those kind of thoughts. There'll be a link towards it, people. It's in my August playlist, but I'm gassed, man. I'm gassed. I don't even know where to start, man. So let me talk with my fan cap. First thing, he's a Premier League household name. He's one of the best central midfielders in the Premier League, and we're getting that. Also, when we got West Ham's captain, you saw the leadership qualities that Declan Rice came with, and you see what Bruno comes with. The man, you see, it must have been a difficult decision, because of what he is, obviously, with a ball at his feet, what he does, but the leadership qualities, the way he gets the fans on side, the relationship with the fans, the fact that he's 28 as well, he's here for the present, trying to deliver now. Everybody else of his teammates has a Premier League trophy, he doesn't, so he has that leadership quality and that desire, so he's bringing that experience, that burning desire to want to win, those leadership qualities, obviously being able to play as a 6 or an 8, all of those things I like. And I think we got the best central midfield partnership in the Premier League, if I'm honest with you, with him and Declan Rice. As we know, there's 38 Premier League games, 50 plus when you consider all comps. So while I think that's the best, statistically, you've got Rice and Zubimendi, who played the most in that partnership. And also, we know about the amount of games Rice has had to play, Zubi the same. Guimaraes will probably play a lot of games, but he takes the burden off. So we've got Zubimendi and Rice, Bruno Guimaraes and Rice, Miles Lewis-Skelly and Rice, Miles Lewis-Skelly potentially and Bruno Guimaraes. You could maybe even gamble, dependent on when Rice and Zubimendi come back into training, that Miles Lewis-Skelly and Bruno G will be our first choice. Be the first midfield partnership to start in the Premier League. Side note, but I do think when we talk about our midfield, maybe because Lewis-Skelly came through the academy, we actually underestimate how good he is and how good he's going to be. Can play right centre mid, can play left, obviously ball carrying, all of that kind of stuff. We've got some very good options. Man. And one thing I would say would be my hot take with Bruno G. I know it's not exactly the same as when we signed Declan Rice, people, but when we signed Declan Rice, he was known as a 6. He was top of the pops on what he does, but we saw other aspects to his game, at Arsenal. So my thing is, what plans does Mikel Arteta have? Because last season, Newcastle fans were saying Guimaraes played slightly further forward. Obviously, we know he's a 6, so I wonder what that could be. I wonder if Bruno will be the 6 and we will double down on what we do with the present day Declan Rice box crashing and stuff. Or what I would like to see is, and obviously, if you're a central midfielder, you're a central midfielder. You got to attack, you got to defend. Or do we say, you know what, Bruno G, go have fun in the final third. Rice, you're going to stay further deeper. I'm here for this, people. I'm really here for this. I want these good problems. Typically, there's 4 players now in Rice, Miles Lewis-Skelly, Zubimendi, and Bruno G that could play in that midfield partnership. And we know we need depth. Very quickly, the Premier League season turns into from 1 game a week, 2 games a week, 3 games in 10 days. Then, the minutes are started to clock up, especially towards the tail end of the season. We need this. We look at situations like West Ham away last season where you put Rice at right back, there was a hole in the midfield. Had you had a Bruno G, needs must, you probably could have put Rice there and the absence wouldn't be there. Can score from set pieces, can take set pieces, can box crash, his passing range, can play as a 6 or an 8. And it'll be interesting because we've got a lot of different mix and blends of 6. Like, none of our 6s are alike. Like, Bruno's a very different 6 to a Zubimendi. Zubimendi's a very different 6 to a traditional 6 in England with Declan Rice. Miles Lewis-Skelly the same. They all have the capacities to play as 8s, but you don't know me, people. They're midfielders. Obviously, one man's skill might be in receiving it from the centre backs and whatnot, and next man's skill might be in the final third. But I do think we need to get back into that territory of just talking about central midfielders being central midfielders. Like, you've got to do a bit of everything. So I'm gassed about this Bruno G signing, if I'm brutally honest. I know there's a bit of a demi-downer because we would have liked to have seen 2 Brazilians, but this is what you want to see, man. As much as I want to develop talents, you need those ready-made players. I think 70, 75, 80 million, it will pay dividends. I think he's a player that will have the burning desire to want to succeed. Obviously, there's that degree of pressure. We all know he's going to score against Newcastle, people. I'm gassed about this signing, people. And I want to go back to what I said, about Bruno G, Bruno G and Rice being the best partnership. That might be the best partnership, but football is about relationships. And as you know, every player put their body on the line for this football club, people. So you need different things. Rice and Zubi might be the best partnership in your mind. Rice and Lewis Skelly, or Bruno G and Zubi, or whatever, yeah. But if we just say Rice and Zubi, to have a Bruno G and a Lewis Skelly, it'd be great. It's just like at centre half. We know Saliba and Gabriel, two of the best centre halves in world football and the league. And as a partnership, there ain't really, well, there isn't. Who is better? Who can talk to them really? But that's one thing. When Gabriel's got injuries or Saliba's got suspensions or injuries, you need to be able to pivot. So maybe Saliba and Gabriel would be your best one, but Mascara and Gabriel could do a thing, or many other denominations. So these are the signings, you know, that mark the territory that we're in now. This is how you preserve a league. We're not Sir Alex Ferguson, and we're definitely not Man United of what they used to be in my early days on this earth, people. But he used to cherry pick the best. We went and got Declan Rice. It's paid dividends. You went and got Guimaraes. It's going to pay dividends. You know me, people. I'm a big Brazil fan as well. And all's forgiven Bruno G. I never saw it word to Wenger, but all's forgiven for the nonsense she was doing with Jorginho and the nonsense she was with Declan Rice. Again, I know a lot of people would talk about Lewis Skelly, and I get it, because they're all four of these options we're talking about are all internationals. But I've actually got a hot take. You know, Zubamendi was linked with Real Madrid. Rodri's going Barcelona. Could Zubamendi go Real Madrid next year? Zubamendi does strike me as a player that might want to go back to Spain, and things of that. You know I love Zubamendi. Zubamendinho, I still think he's quality. I think one thing that shagged Zubamendi was, you know, he did the reverse of the Eze and the Gyökeres. And what I mean by that is the two names I said just now, they kind of eased their way into the season as it went on. Zubamendi started like a house on fire, in my opinion, and then fell by the wayside. But then again, that's why you need the depth, people. I think he's got the number 39. I'm gassed about this. I can finally shut up about central midfield. And if we all know we're a team, right? But if you break our team down into 3/3 or 3 units, like your defensive unit, the centre mid unit, your striking unit, defense was sorted. Obviously, with Saliba's injury, there needs to be some recruitment. Obviously, with Timber and White, you talk about injuries. But in terms of just numbers and names and what we believe, if Lewis Skelly plays left back, we got total confidence. Obviously, we want to see him in midfield. But then you've got Hincapié, you got Calafiori, you got Benjamin White, you got Timber, you got Mascara, you've got Joel Bloggs, who's probably going to come into the club whenever. You've got Gabriel Magalhaes, you've got William Saliba, you've got David Raya. Defensive unit is sorted. Midfield, I think it is sorted, and it's more for, you know, the players to go up the gears, and maybe I think it's for Mikel Arteta to, you know, I don't know the word, but revamp the tactics and things, because we've got a lot of big money signings there, a couple of big money signings. All of the players are quality, and it's more of a tactical thing. We know football is decided in both ends, the defense and the attack, but it's played in the middle of the park more so now, where it's not just free in midfield. You've got inverted fullbacks, you've got narrow wingers who are driving inside, you've got strikers dropping in, so it's very congested. And you know, his ability to, in his own way, he can't do it alone, but to, you know, pick the locks in low blocks. I'm gassed about this, people. I'm gassed, and I'm sure you lot all are as well. He signed for 75 million odd quid. He signed until 2030, people, plus the option of a further year. So that's a 4-year deal plus another one. I'm here for this, people. I'm really here for this. I'm sure you've seen this video as well. It's actually crashedarsenal.com, people. If you go and look at it, yeah. I was clicking on this. Look. That's how gassed us Arsenal fans are at the time of this. And even this, people are ready to be your warrior. You see what man's saying? Brazilians, bro. Technical tenacity, passing range, experience, technical quality, could chip in. He's ready to be a warrior. He's going to get on like a house on fire. We got bare passion merchants and Spartans. I'm gassed about this, man. I can't lie. Big up Murder and Arteta. This is cold, people. This is cold. Bring me a left winger and we're cooking. Nobody can talk to us, people. 75 odd million quid. We're laughing. I could be capping. But Bruno G is actually the second oldest, apologies, in our squad now, isn't it? Because with Norgard going, maybe Kepa, to be fair, you know, maybe it's more of an outfield thing. But I'm sure technically Marino, probably Kepa, because it just came to mind. And Bruno G, you'd be the oldest in our squad, which is a bit weird, because on some hands as Arsenal fans, we feel like we need some younger players, but then on the other hand, we feel like we're too old. So I don't know, man. And then in relation to Mikel Arteta, I want all of these problems. What I would say, and again, there's even the option of we assume we're going to play with an Odegaard and Eze, and then, you know, the people who play in the pivots, the Rices, the Zubis, the Lewis Kellys, etc., it's them. So if that's the case, yeah, there's 2 positions, there's 4 of you. Go and give Arteta problems. We all know managers work very hard. He probably gets into the training ground at 7 a.m., don't leave until 7 p.m., gets home, you know, kisses his wife, plays with the kids, puts them to sleep. When his wife is missing him and she wants to obviously, you know, birds and the bees and probably have another child, I want him to not be focused because, I have to play Bruno G, I have to play Lewis Skelly. Rice needs a rest, but I can't do what I'm doing with Rice. I got to get Zubamendi in there. I'm here for all of this. And then you throw in the Marinos, the Kais, the Ezes, the Odegaards across the season, bro. We're minted. But again, defense wins titles. The game is played in midfield. I believe in our midfield as a cohesive unit, as a collective unit, our defense. I like our attackers. There's all different layered problems there, but goals win games. Big up Zolis, step in the right direction, but we need a left winger at a minimum. If you could get a Krupi or an Alvarez, which I don't think we're going to get, we're really laughing, man. Boy, big up Bruno, man.